When you come to central Kentucky, you just might see a Ford farm tractor that's a little bit rare. And Steve Persinger from Cynthiana, Kentucky, tell us a little bit about this Ford 771.
It's actually a 58 model, but they actually didn't come out till 59. But it was one of the first ones built, and it's real rare. They have it's 7071 is the selective speed, and of course they had a lot of trouble with the selective speed, but they got them straightened out and done good. And it's just a beautiful tractor, and I just had to have it. Yeah, and I got other tractors, but this is one of my favorites.
What made it so rare? What do you think? Why do you think this was one that maybe just wasn't made as many of?
They just didn't. I don't know the reason why, but they didn't make a whole bunch of them like they did all the others. And I think it's one of the prettiest ones they've ever made. It and the 961 that I have.
And this tractor, tell us a little bit about the story of how you came to add it to your collection.
Well, Mr. Daly, Donnie Daly, he found it on the internet, and we went to Tennessee and picked it up and bought it. And then after he worked it over and fixed the engine and everything, well, I tried to buy it off of him for years and he wouldn't sell it. And I said, well, when you get tired of it, I want it. So he said he did sell it to me. So my wife actually bought it. She told me I couldn't have no more tractors, but I had her go get the money out of the safe, and she handed it to him. I said, now see, I did not buy this tractor, you did, so I still catch a heck over that. So, but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and so you put her name on the tractor, right?
I said, oh yeah, you want it, put your name on it.
That's her tractor, and you just get to use it once in a while.
That's right. I get to show it. I try to get her to go with me, but she said, you boys go play.
So, Steve, tell us a little bit about some of the features on the 771 Selecto Speed.
Well, what's nice about it is you don't have to clutch it to shift it. You just bump it up, and it'll go to a different gear, or you can gear it down. And it was real handy for plowing and just whatever you want to do with it. So it makes it nice.
And how much power did a tractor like this have?
It has, tractor data says it has 48 horsepower.
Oh. Plenty of power for back in that day, right?
Oh yes, a whole lot of power.
Yeah. So do you know any of the history of this one?
I don't. The guy we bought it from he actually had this and some other old tractors, but we have no idea where he picked them up at or how he got them, but I just don't know who owned it or who bought it first.
And when you and Donnie got a hold of this tractor, what did it look like?
Oh, it was pretty rough. He tore it down and fixed it and cleaned it all up, and then I finally swindled him out of it.
You and your wife?
Yeah, my wife did that. Yeah.
That's right. She was the one that handed over the cash for this tractor.
Right.
So when you're driving it, tell us a little bit about what the feeling is when you're behind the wheel of this tractor.
It's power steering, and it just drives like a dream. It really drives nice. And I take it on a lot of parades because you just don't see them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love taking it on parades and stuff.
For the operator, what was good about the control and the setup up top?
Well, it was, you got your lift for your plows and everything was just handy right there. And you just swing around that tricycle front end and drop it right in and just take off. It was so much easier to turn than to cultivate with. You put 2-row cultivators on them, they're just a whole lot easier to control. You don't want to get on a hillside too steep, but that's but they're nice for flat bottom land.
Ford tractors, were they kind of popular in Tennessee and Kentucky back in the day? More
so in Kentucky than they were Tennessee. Yeah, but in Kentucky, that's about, we had a lot of Ford dealers around here, and that's what everybody chose. The one I bought my dad, it come from Augusta, Kentucky. So, and there's a dealer here in Cynthiana that sold Ford tractors.
And the wheel weight on the front is something that's getting to be kind of hard to find. Is that what you told me?
Right. They're on the internet. If you find one, at least $1,200 they want for it. And it has weights inside, and it weighs 160 some pounds, and it really helps hold that front end down if you need a lot of power and a lot of pulling. So, but they're expensive.
Yeah, finding those weight boxes like that. And it really does, number one, it adds to the safety of the tractor, but it really adds to the look of it, doesn't it?
Both ways, yeah. That way, if you do hit something, you're going to hit that big box. You're not going to hurt your grill. And then it's just much safer to keep that front end on the ground.
So I know you have more than one Ford tractor. What is it about Ford and their tractors that kind of got your fever going?
Raised up with Fords, you know, my dad bought Fords, and he used to have a Jubilee, and he had an old Ford Ferguson, and then he got the 961. So that's just about all I ever knew as a kid. I just fond of them. I think they're one of the prettiest tractors on the market.
Yeah, the 771. Tell us just a little bit about the color scheme on that tractor.
They were solid red, but then the Slick Fleet has some real beautiful decals. Just a wonderful color, I think.
Kind of took off on the coloring that they had on the 8Ns back in the day, the red belly, but then they sort of gave it a little bit of a twist.
Right, exactly right.
And here in Kentucky, do you think tractor fever, the hobby, is growing?
Oh yes, it's growing. And I'm getting old now, but we're getting these young boys interested in it now and getting them interested. I got a grandson that's interested, so hopefully I can pass these tractors on down to him and my son and my grandsons.
And I know you're a past president of the Central Kentucky Antique Machinery Club. Big show every year in July, is that right?
Well, we're doing 3 days now in Paris, Kentucky. We love to have everybody that wants to come. There's no fee to get in. Everything's free. So just come and join us and have a good time. So it's a great show. Biggest show in Kentucky and the oldest. It started in 1970.
So Steve, one more time, tell us what you really love about Ford farm tractors.
They're just super tractor and so much fun to plow and play with. We do have plow days around, and we get them dirty, but that's okay. They'll clean up. It's just an all fun tractor.
Yeah. And you like that tricycle setup too, don't you?
I love tricycle. It's all I ever had. Yes, love the tricycle. Like I said the other time, I still ride tricycles, even though I'm an old man.
Even though you're 75, you're still on a tricycle.
Still on a tricycle.
Yeah. What is it about that setup that really works for you?
Well, it's just nice to drive, and it's easy to turn, and especially if you used it for cultivating and stuff, you can swing it right on back in the next row.
Yeah, and see right down the row and all of that.
Right, yes.
All right, Steve, thanks for sharing the story of your pretty rare 771.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Steve Persinger of Cynthiana, Kentucky. He's had Ford fever for just about his whole life. All right, thanks for catching Classic Tractor Fever. If you'd like to find more features on Ford, be sure to check out these other stories. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to keep more Classic Tractor Fever headed your way.